Hi guys, hi friends. Welcome back to Shiko Hope TV USA. And this is where we say in our Zekana, we give you hope. We tell you, don't give up, don't lose hope in our Zekana. And if you are new here, please, this is your place. This is where you belong. Comment below, let me know that you are new and watch this video and subscribe. Here we learn a lot of things. We get inspiring stories. We get enlightened because we learn a lot of stuff here. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. Comment below too and let me know that we are still together in this family, Shiko Hope TV USA family. Today, as you can see from the title, it is not about my experience, it is about another person's experience. This is another person experience, and you guys, I know you enjoy lots of these interviews. And without far much ado, let me introduce my guest to the show today, and let's see what she has to share with us. Because she's here to give us hope, and here she comes. Talang, hello.
Hey, hey, hi everyone. Hi, Hope. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Shiko Hope TV USA.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for hosting me.
Thank you so much for coming. I know your experience is a good one.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, and you have a story that all of us want to hear. And
Okay.
can you tell us who is Brenda? Tell us more about you.
Yeah, sure. Yes. So my name is Brenda Demars. Demars is my husband's last name. So I'm married. So I have two boys. Hopefully they won't come running while we're talking to Hope. So I have two boys. One is 11 and the other one is 5. Yeah, and I live in Pennsylvania. Originally from Uganda. Yes, I've been in the United States since 2007, and it's been it's been amazing. It's been great. It's been great.
Wow, thank you. So you are our neighbor back home.
Yes. I'm originally from Uganda, so utasema anything, I'll hear what you're saying.
Nice to have you here today.
Thank you.
Yes. Can you tell us, Brenda, how did your American journey started, or how did you find yourself in America?
Absolutely, yes. My journey started way back. I think it was like 2000, when I met some handsome guy. I was in my senior six vacation working with my aunt at a restaurant. So she asked me to come help out in vacation. Like after high school, you have like a few months, almost like 7 months before you join college, university. So I went to work with my aunt at a hospital. She had a restaurant inside the hospital. And that's how I met my boyfriend that time. He had also just gone to Uganda to work on HIV and AIDS research under the Ministry of Health. Um, so that's how we met. We were friends. And then a year after that, I think things became serious a little bit. And then I came to visit, to visit his parents. He invited me over. Um, the first time the U.S. Embassy, of course, denied me a visa. The first time I applied, I think they were not sure I was coming back. I was going back to Uganda. So, but then we insisted, applied again, and second time, no. We're like, what the,
Again?
again? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I shared my experience in one of my videos. So,
What?
um, but then on the third time, my boyfriend was like, we're not giving up. So we applied again that week, and they gave me a visa for just, I think it was like 3 weeks.
Oh,
So
so you are applying for a visit visa, right?
yes, we applied for a visit visa. Yes. Um,
Okay. So you
yeah,
applied for a visit visa the first time they declined your
yes,
visa.
yes, they
The
did.
second time they
They
declined it.
denied again. Yes, and they
So
couldn't
they
give you a
applied.
visa. Yeah, and then the third time, yeah, the third time I went back in, and like my boyfriend was like, "I'm going in with you, in case they have any questions. I'm here. I don't understand why they're refusing." So we went in together, and the person who was interviewing me is like, "Hey, it looks like your boyfriend is in the waiting room." I'm like, "Yep." He's like, he's not supposed to be here? I'm like, I'm sure we do know they're not supposed to be here.
What?
Yeah. So, and then they called him in, asked him why. They told him the reason was because most students come to the United States and don't go back. So they were trying to, most Ugandans, I don't know about the other countries. So, um, yeah. And then they granted me a visa that time.
Wow.
And that's
So the first time you came to America, you came through a visit visa.
correct, correct. And second
Mhm.
time was also through a visit visa because I came two times before my other before finally moving over for good.
So you came visiting, then went back to
Yes,
Uganda. You came again, then went back to Uganda.
correct.
Now, can
Yes.
you tell us now how did you come now to live here legally?
Yeah, yeah. So after the funny thing is like I think after they give you the first, it's something that most people need to know is like if you come under visitors visa, you have to make sure you go back. Like at least try and go back before your visa expires. And then so when we did that, that's why I think they gave me 3 weeks because what are you gonna do in the US for 3 weeks? It's like nothing,
Nothing.
nothing. So
Mm.
but we went back before my visa expired, and then the second time I applied, they did not give me a hard time at all because they saw I went and came back. Um, and then third time, yes, we applied for a fiance visa because at that point we were engaged. I was done with school. So I traveled to Nairobi, got did all the requirements of fiance visa, and yeah, and they didn't give me a hard time either. They just needed documents to verify that you guys are still together. At that point, they have your records on file, so they can see how you traveled, what did you do, all that stuff. So that's how I came and then got here under fiance visa. I had 90 days to get officially married, and then so that I can get my green card.
Okay, so you came when engaged, but you got married here, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Wow. And you came with your fiancé at that time, or you came by yourself?
I came by myself. So he left Uganda because he had applied for school back here, and my papers were taking long. I think so. He had to start school, so he left me in Uganda and traveled back. And then after a month or 2 months, I got my fiance visa approved, and then I joined him here.
Okay, so a fiancé visa does not take longer time to be processed. How long did it take to be processed?
You mean like back home or here? Back
Yeah,
home.
back home.
Back home, I think. I wish I can remember. I think it took about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
8 months. Yeah, my husband just said 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah, so it took about 8 months. So
Mhm.
we, yeah, it was a while. Um,
But you have hope that once
yeah,
they approve it, I'll go to America.
yeah, yeah. Because I was in love with this guy, and now it was becoming distance relationship, and
Yeah.
it was starting to get tough. So thank God things worked out when they did, right? So
And here you came.
here, yeah.
And you are so lucky because you came to your husband's house. You didn't go to a relative's house or a friend's house.
Yes, that's correct. That's
You are,
correct. Yeah.
you
So
are very lucky. Now, can you tell us your experience as a newcomer here? You have your husband to show you the way to train you how to drive and everything. But tell us how it was.
yeah. So I mean, when I came, yes, so I arrived and we lived in, he was going to school in Pennsylvania. His family is from New Hampshire, so which is New England, for those of you who might not know. So Pennsylvania, from Pennsylvania to New Hampshire or to Boston is about 6 hours drive.
Mm-hmm,
So yeah, and so it's not like we would see them all the time, right? Um, so he lived in an apartment because he did not we didn't have any money. He was going to school. We lived in an apartment near the University of UPenn. For some of you who might be wondering which college. Um, so and he would go to school every day, and I would just be at home by myself. So and I it was lonely. I have to say, I didn't have friends that time that lived near me. I couldn't, the only people I would talk to were people back home, like during the day. So I made sure I bought cards, calling cards, to call back home and like talk all day, and my minutes would end. That is also expensive.
mm-hmm,
Uh, so it was different. It was exciting at first. It was just me and him, like we didn't have kids. So maybe when he got home, would like go out and eat and go out and have some fun, go partying. Um, but then it started getting lonely, because he was busy and I wasn't working. I applied for jobs the first few months, and I wasn't getting anybody calling me to work. um, I guess it's what I was looking for. Is like I have a degree from Uganda. I should be able to get into like office jobs. That's what I was applying for. Otherwise, I could have just gone to like the grocery stores and say, "Hey, I just need a job." Just they would hire you. So, um, but it started getting lonely, and but then afterwards, I volunteered at different places, like an interfaith place. I did volunteer work, so I could get to see people, talk to people,
mm-hmm.
and then yeah, and then I volunteered for Obama campaigns, uh,
Wow.
uh, just like so that I could get out, and start meeting people, making friends, and
Mm.
that was it. So that was the beginning of freedom, the beginning of friends. Um,
Social.
yeah, social life became live again, and yeah, so we did not drive. I didn't drive for a while because we lived in the city and you could just jump on a bus or a train, get anywhere. So we didn't even have a car. So because it's
So
expensive to
yeah,
park them.
you are lucky at least your city you have public transport.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Philadelphia is a big city. It's like New York. So it's expensive to own a car in the city, and it's easy to just use public transportation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what was your first job? Where did you get your first job?
My first job. Okay, so the other two I talked about were volunteer jobs. Of course, they don't pay you. Maybe at Christmas time they give you like a small check to say thank you.
Appreciation. Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah,
appreciation.
yeah, appreciation.
Mhm.
So my first job, I did part-time at a hospital because one of my husband's friend's wife worked in like medical records at
Mhm.
the hospital, and they wanted like high school or college, college kids to come in and do like quick jobs, like
Mhm.
organize the files and look at records. And so she's like, "Oh, Brenda, do you want to work like just a few hours during the day?" I was like, "Yeah." So I started doing that. I would go in and go to the file room. I mean, it's a big hospital, so the file, like all the records were not electronic yet. So you'd have, if a patient comes in, you'd have to look for the file, then look at, like the doctor has to look at, the previous visits and all that stuff. So we were in charge, me and another friend were in charge of organizing the files and make sure they're in like alphabetical order, make sure all the charts are in order. so so that was my first job.
Mhm.
It wasn't hard, it was easy. But it was part-time and it was a temporary job.
Mm.
Uh, and then after that, I applied. And so my real first job was doing door-to-door sales.
Doing what?
Door-to-door sales. Like people come to your door
Yes.
and ring the door, and then you come out. You're like, "What do you want at my house?" So that was my
What?
yeah. I recently did a video about it. So, because it's a story. It's a story for another day, I hope. But I did that. So that was challenging.
I
In a
know.
way, yeah. We had to go to different neighborhoods. So I was selling, like internet. Like you have T-Mobile,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, or Verizon. So like the
Yeah.
yeah, so those companies. So I was selling their internet and TV packages. So I
Oh,
would, so I would like ring your door and come to you and be like, so what do you have for your TV channels? Or who do you have?
it is
But
challenging. It is a challenging job.
yeah, it was challenging, yeah. But
I
again,
I don't think I can do that. Some
yeah.
people are not welcoming.
Yes, yes, yes,
They will
yes.
come and they tell you, we don't entertain solicitation.
Yes,
Soliciting.
yeah, we don't entertain solicitors. Yes. Oh, then what's your accent? I can't understand what you're saying. Your accent.
Yeah, now can you tell us more about how you handled the language barriers? I know
Yeah,
in Uganda you speak
yeah,
English,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
this American life, Ugandan English and American English, they are two different things.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
How did you handle that?
So, I mean, at first it was people would say pardon to me a lot.
Can you
Like,
repeat that again?
can you
I
repeat
didn't
that again? Can you repeat that again?
I didn't
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So and then of course, but so I was getting offended for some time until I realized that I learned that even within America, they also have accents.
Yes.
Yes. So I decided like every time I looked at ways of how I could make it fun. So if somebody tells me you have an accent, I'm like, yes, you also have an accent.
Mhm.
And then they would laugh about it. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have an accent to you. You have an accent to me."
To me, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I played around with it, so it was fine. But again, I just decided to speak the way I am supposed to speak.
Mm,
I'm like, sometimes, like for some people, I'd say, if you don't understand me, ask me again. I will. It's
mhm.
fine. Instead of you misunderstanding me, I would rather you understand me.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. So, and of course, like Uganda is British, uh, what is it, like school? It's
British
so we,
curriculum.
yes, yes. So, like some words or like how you write the date is different from how the Americans write it. So those things
Yeah.
challenged me for a bit. Um, but I think just living with like an American in the house that I spoke to all the time helped me know like how they pronounce things or what they mean. Like if I see some facial expression, I could
Mm,
know what that means. I was like, I've seen
yeah.
my husband do that face. Like, I was
But
like,
what I like most with American English,
Yes.
It is not grammatically correct. You can just mix words, but so
Yes.
long as you drive the point home, you are good to go.
Yes. Yes.
Like you can call your school teacher and tell them, my son's sick, no school today. That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, because they deal with different people, so like America itself has people who went to school,
Mm,
like they're born speaking English, but the ones who went to school speak differently from the ones who did not go to school.
mm-hmm.
So if you are if you have to serve everybody, you kind of like get to understand. You have to
Yes,
understand their phrases. You have to understand their accents. Like African Americans say things differently. Some of them, anyways. You
yes.
know.
I
So
remember. I remember one time my husband was training me how to drive in
yeah,
a particular high school.
yeah.
There was a police there, those that watch schools. He came and he was like, "Oh, you are training her how to drive?" Yes. Okay, take care. Don't hit nothing. You see?
Don't hit
Don't hit
nothing.
nothing. You are like, now, what did he just say? Don't hit nothing.
Yeah, you're like, don't hit nothing. Of course, I won't hit nothing.
He could say, don't hit anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the grammar, so you can tell. Yeah. So it's a thing with like America, people who go to like different, like the neighborhoods you grow up in,
Mm,
um, could culture people like to speak how they speak,
yeah.
uh, to act how they act. So, and yeah, it's very diverse in itself. So
Yes. Now you are a mom.
yes.
American babies. Can
I
you tell
watched
us
your
how?
video the other day. I watched your video about American parenting. I was
Yes.
dying.
Can you tell
Yeah,
briefly, can you tell us how you see it different, the way we were brought up back in Africa and how
yeah,
we are bringing up our kids here in America? Can you tell
yeah,
us how you see it briefly?
yeah. It's different. It's different, honestly, because I feel like kids here have so much. We call it in my language, you say "lugezigeze," like too much clever. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
they're like, you can't do that to me
Sharp.
because yeah, they're like too sharp, and
Mhm.
they have rules. They set rules. So, and you could tell even like in the neighborhoods, you could, like back home, everybody was your watchdog. Would watch you. You were
Yes.
raised by a whole village. I tell my kids that. So you find that I can't just discipline a neighbor, or if I see a kid doing, volongoto, like bad things on the street, I can't just go say, "Hey, you can't do that." The kid will say, "Who are you to
I-
tell me? Who are
Who are
you?"
you?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
right. So, so I've tried to find a balance of where, like at least we live in a neighborhood where it's like few people in the neighborhood. We all know each other, and those who have parents, I tell the parents, I'm like, if your kids come to my house to play with my kids, they have to live by my rules. So if I don't like what they're doing, I'll punish them. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, whoa, she's tough. My yeah. Otherwise, no. If your kids say things that I don't like my kids to copy, I will tell them they can't say those things while at my house. And we've made peace with that. Otherwise, I do not. My kid cannot stand there and respond to me like in a way that I could never respond to my mom back home, or my aunts, or my people in the village.
Mm.
Like, where are you going? Why do you need to know?
Or why? Why do
Why?
you ask?
Why are you asking? I'm like,
Eh?
oh yeah. I'm like, you live in my house. You don't pay rent. You want to be an adult? Get out.
Mhm.
And they're like,
Sure.
so me and my husband have like, we've kind of come to like a culture, two different cultures, but come like combine them to where we know this is the right thing to do for these humans.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm not raising my kids the American way. 100% no. It's like Ugandan and American. We meet in the
Mm.
middle here. So, but it's
Yeah,
challenging. It's challenging,
it is
honestly. Yeah.
challenging. It is
Yeah.
challenging. When I came here my first time, I used to see some kids. They are African parents. They have been here,
Mhm.
but their kids are spoiled.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as a new person coming from now strict Africa, you are like, gosh, this I can't.
You're like scratching like chopper, right? You're like, I
Yes,
wish I could chopper you with a zapato, but
and I told my kids, you know what? The discipline that you came with here, it should remain. I'm here. I have not changed. I'm
yeah.
still your mom. So I have not brought you to America to get spoiled or to grow horns.
Yeah.
No. Discipline, discipline, discipline. You must maintain being disciplined. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter where you are.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even the Bible tells us bring up a child the way he or she should go,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
will never depart from it.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yes. Yes. You
So it
know.
is our responsibilities as parents to bring our kids,
Yeah.
to bring up responsible kids.
Yes. 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 So I think finding like something that I think is helpful if you're trying to raise your kids, like kind of keep them with like your roots, like
Mm,
back home roots, like even though you're in America. If you're lucky, you could find like African communities, like where, or maybe like Ugandan community or Kenyan community, so that they interact with fellow, Kenyan, or they get to see like Kenyan, like all my friends, Ugandan friends are aunties. So
mm,
my son is like, but mom, how come I call them auntie again? I'm like, because they're aunties.
yeah.
So, and I'm like, so, and that auntie can punish you. So if she chapas you out there, yes, don't come to me. That means you were in wrong. So
Yes.
so I think you can try to connect with like people from your root who understand, and then the kids interact with each other as well to be
Mm,
like, oh, it's not just us who are different. Even this family follows rules.
yeah.
So I think it helps.
Yeah, it works. It works. You just know what you are supposed to do as a parent, and God guide you
Yeah.
because you can't do it without God.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You can't. Yeah. So
Wow. It was so nice having you here today, my friend Brenda.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Next time you're up here, maybe you go to Hashi Park. If you're bringing kids to Hashi, you want to take them to those chocolate rides,
Hmm.
let me know because, I could host you guys. We're not too far from there. We could go together
Wow.
as a group. Yeah, next
We
time you
will
want to
be
come.
coming. Let this COVID thing vanish. We are coming.
Yeah.
Vacation, vacation, every now and then.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you too, when you come to visit Texas, we are here.
I will. I would look for you. I have friends there. I was telling you the other time. Yeah,
Mm,
I have friends in Austin and I don't know where but yeah, Dallas. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, some good
So,
friends there.
so now, can you tell us where we can get you, your social media handles? Because I know you are there.
Yes, yes. Maybe hope we'll put my link in the comments
Your
for
YouTube
YouTube.
channel,
Yeah,
yes.
my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube as Brenda Demers, Brenda Akatama. I talk about. I recently just started because some of these things I decided if I put them somewhere in videos, maybe my kids will watch them if I'm no longer here. So all my friends like cooking, things to do like my story, how I came here. If my kids ever want to look back and know how I did. So I thought, you know what, should just start a YouTube channel so that I can dump my files there, and people, and I run some health and fitness groups. So and they always ask me questions. What can we eat? It's like, you know what? I'm tired of like writing to like so many people different things. So if I do juices, if I make meals or have notes, I can just put them in videos, and then if anybody asks me, I just share the link. I'm like, go knock yourself out. So you guys can follow me on YouTube if you're into such stories, some love stories as well here and there. If you have any questions about anything, immigration, probably Liz is your best person, and Hope, and
Yes.
EDM or EBM, but I'll give you my advice if you need it for sure.
Can they come to you so that you can get them mzungus?
Oh, geez. That's like another question everyone asks me. How do I get Mizungu? How do I get Mizungu? I don't know. That I always tell them, like, I don't have a farm. What I can be like, here, you have that one, you have that one, you have that one. Um, yeah, but if I have some friends who are looking for some African girls, yeah, I'll hook you up.
Sure. So let I will send my people to your channel.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so they can come there and subscribe and comment to your stuff
Thank
and
you, thank
inbox
you.
you for some tips.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate Chico. You're doing amazing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, you
So
gonna go?
here on my channel, I give people hope.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them inawezekana. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you say inawezekana?
Nawezekana, yes, nawezekana. I can
So
speak Swahili.
there is
Yeah,
hope.
a little bit.
Okay, my people, when you go to Brenda's channel, comment and say that you're coming from Shiko Hope's
Yes,
channel.
yes,
Yes, guys.
please.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for coming. We really appreciate your experience. It is so amazing. And thank you so much for coming. Let's end this video. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks, Chico. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.